I always say that, coming back from these things are really difficult.
Yeah.
When you've seen someone try to come for you, it's almost impossible to come back from that.
Yeah. True.
And so I guess the tension is going to be there for a very long time. However, the rule of law must be established in this, and whatever the security operators who's in charge of these things is, deems fit to handle this case with, then they can go ahead and do what they need to do. Honestly, we didn't send anybody to go into politics, and so 2 women in the middle of this, it's just really disheartening, you know? We would have said that, the men probably, and again, it's not like men are violent, I'm just saying that, the men are more aggressive when it comes to politics. Then the women take over, and then we are seeing worse. Charlie, where's the grace? Where's the empathy? Where's the mother in you people? Like, this is really, really, I was trying to hold back. But this is really, really...
Not it.
It's not it. It's not it. At all. I mean, what?
Oh. Anyways, away from that, Parliament, but this time not with the minority and majority, but with the Deputy Defence Minister, Jamaican. So he was in Parliament yesterday. Parliament invited him to come talk about the state of Ghana's aircraft, so the presidential jet, the Falcon. Now, according to him, so you would recall...
Before you get to that, have they decided to show us what was in the black box?
Not as of now.
The report is still not out.
Still not out. Come to think about it, yeah, because according to the acting defense minister, when he constituted the committee, I think they were supposed to give us a report by mid-October, yes. By mid-October. Asial is busy chasing the dollar. Anyways, so...
They say don't say it.
Deputy Finance Minister said that for a very long time, Ghana's presidential jet has...
Finance Minister?
No, Deputy Defense Minister, I should say, sorry. Defense Minister says that, well, the presidential jet has not been in a good state. And arguably, we had the former, or the late Defense Minister, Omane Boama, speak vehemently about the state of Ghana's aircraft. I think that was his last conversation in Parliament before he passed on. And so, he says that, well, I like the deep breath, he says that we do miss him. We do miss him. But President says that very soon, the presidential jets would be back in the air. The president will be using the presidential jets very soon. As to when is the very soon, we do not know. If it's next year, ending of the year. Yeah, so...
You are sitting that jet one day.
That's what a lot of people... So I saw under a post about this conversation, a lot of people are asking, okay, is it a new jet we are getting?
Yeah.
Or it is the same one that has been retooled and revamped? Because if you look at what, if you listen to what Edward Obadebo said, right, the concerns he raised about certain parts malfunctioning, the whole plane not even in the right state to fly, one would think that, well, we are doing a total overhauling of the plane, fitting it with. But anyways, we hope to see what happens. We hope to see what happens in coming days. Well, not really coming days, because it says very soon. We don't know whether it's days, months, weeks, years. We don't know. But what we're going to do is we're going to wait. We will wait. We're going to wait.
We'll wait.
And we pray that the wait be good. If not, we'll bite. But anyways, let's get into our stories for this morning and start off. As President John Dramani Mahama says, his administration will pilot private sector participation in water bill collection at the Ghana Water Company to improve efficiency and service delivery. Now, President John Dramani Mahama made these remarks during the sword-cutting ceremony for a $150 million industrial solar project at Agoto in the Ningo Pram district, expected to generate 200 megawatts of power as part of government's renewable energy agenda.
To experiment a pilot where we have small town water systems that are broken down, that are publicly administered. And we're going to involve private sector companies to repair those small town water systems, distribute the water, and be responsible for the bill collection. After all, the PURC is the one that sets the tariffs. And so these companies are not going to be able to set tariffs that are above what our people can afford to pay. And so we're going to have a pilot both in the water sector, and we're also going to continue the efforts to inject private sector in the bill collection And the last point of service.
Now let's stay in governance, as government has announced that a state funeral will be held for the late former First Lady Nana Akufo-Addo Rawlings on Friday, November 28, 2025, at the Independence Square in Accra. A statement signed by Minister for Government Communications and spokesperson to the President, Felix Kwasi says the ceremony under the auspices of the President, John Dramani Mahama, will honor Mrs. Rawlings and her immense contribution to women's development, children's welfare and national development. Now, Mrs. Akufo-Addo Rawlings is the founder, or was the founder of the 31st December Women's Movement and passed away on October 23, 2025. Let's walk you through the details of the statement released by Felix Kwasi in line with the announcement of a state funeral in honor of the former First Lady Nana Akufo-Addo Rawlings. Now, if you do not know who Nana Akufo-Addo Rawlings is, Nana Akufo-Addo Rawlings is the former First Lady and the first Lady of the Fourth Republic. She is the wife of former President Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings of blessed memory. And a statement coming in from the presidency says, state funeral of former First Lady Nana Akufo-Addo Rawlings. The government of Ghana, under the auspices of President John Dramani Mahama, will hold a state funeral for the late former First Lady Nana Akufo-Addo Rawlings on Friday, the 28th of November, 2025, at the Independence Square. The state funeral is in recognition of Mrs. Rawlings' invaluable contributions to the advancement of the rights of women and children in Ghana and national development. As I said earlier, it's signed by Felix Kwasi, Government Communications Minister, as well as a spokesperson to the President. Well, for a full breakdown or profile of who Nana Akufo-Addo Rawlings is, her achievements, and particularly her contributions to women's development and children's welfare, remember to visit mx24online.com where you get the full details to read from. Away from that, the Deputy Defense Minister, Ernest Jamefi, has disclosed that Ghana's Falcon 900 EX presidential jet will soon return home to Ghana after undergoing major maintenance works. Now, he told Parliament that corrosion and other defects found on the aircraft have been fixed, adding that the jet will return once leak and engine ground tests are completed. Now, he spoke to Parliament on the floor of Parliament yesterday. Take a listen to the Deputy Defense Minister, Ernest Jamefi.
France on Tuesday, 11th March 2025, for the 24 monthly and 1,600 flying hours periodic inspection. This inspection is a mandatory airworthiness requirement that ensures that the main maintenance tasks and due list tasks compiled for the 24 monthly inspections have been completed and functional checks have successfully carried out. Mr. Speaker, also the reported corrosion spots detected within the aircraft fuel tanks, which affected the aircraft's delivery date, have undergone extensive repairs. These corrosion issues in the fuel tanks have since been resolved. However, in the course of the inspection, fuel leakages were observed from the right-hand wing tank. Unfortunately, after successfully repairing the section of the wing that experienced the leakages, other challenge was encountered while reinstalling the lower panel beneath the wing. This occurrence has resulted in further delay in the completion of the inspection. Mr. Speaker, following the difficulties encountered, Dassault Aviation invited the Falcon Wing original equipment manufacturer to the Dassault Falcon Services hangars to enable the OEM conduct an on-site assessment of the right-hand wing lower panel and provide independent technical recommendations aimed at expediting the repair and reinstallation.
Ernest Broja Jemfi there speaking on the floor of Parliament with regards to the return of Ghana's Falcon presidential jet to the country after going major maintenance works, in his words. You're still watching the morning news on the AM Club. My name is Augustine Edem-Koruti. Now let's do some other stories this morning. As a former member of Parliament for the Ewutu Senya East constituency, Mavis Hawakumson says she feels vindicated by the Interior Minister's report on the Kaswa shooting incidents during the 2024 general elections. In a statement, the former gender minister says the report confirms that the tragic incident was caused by security lapses and institutional failures, not by actions of any individual. Now, she says she had no longer endured what she described as unfair public attacks and misleading headlines that painted her as violent and unfit for office. She put out a statement detailing what she calls a vindication by the minister. Let's walk you through the details, and this is coming in from the former MP and Minister Mavis Hawakumson. Statement by Honourable Mavis Hawakumson on the Interior Minister's revelations on the Kaswa shooting incident. Now, I have taken note of the recent revelations by the Honourable Minister for the Interior, Honourable Muntaka Mohammed Mubarak, regarding the findings of investigations into election-related violence, including the tragic incident at Kaswa. The minister's report confirms that 21 suspects have been identified, that there were clear breaches of discipline by some security officers, and that the use of firearms in certain situations was unjustified. These findings affirm what I have consistently maintained, that the Kaswa incident was the result of security lapses and institutional failures, not the actions or instigation of any individual. And she goes on to say that for years, she has endured harsh and unfair public attacks. I was branded violent, reckless, and unfit for office through sensational and misleading headlines. The judgment was swift and painful. Today, the Interior Minister's findings have vindicated me, confirming that the violence was not directed by me, but stemmed from broader systemic failures in election security coordination. The unjustified accusations and intense vilification I faced even led to my assault during the rerun of 19 polling stations in Ablekuma North, where I had undergone peacefully to monitoring the proceedings. Now, that experience remains one of the darkest moments of my public life, a reminder of how false narratives can destroy reputations and endanger lives. While I take no diligence in revisiting these painful experiences, I extend my deepest sympathies to the families of all victims of electoral violence. Their loss must be a national lesson. I fully support the Interior Minister's recommendations, including compensation for victims, enhanced police training, the use of non-lethal crowd control tools, and the discontinuation of military involvement in election crowd control operations. Now, these are words coming in from Mavis Hawakumson, the former Member of Parliament for the Ewutu Senya constituency, as well as the former Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection. But there's been a response on this particular incident, as the current Ewutu Senya East Member of Parliament, Phyllis Nakoyo Okuno, has refuted portions of the same report, insisting that she was attacked by men allegedly linked to Mavis Hawakumson. According to her, her convoy was trailed by a V8 vehicle associated with the former MP. Now, she's urging the investigative task force to ensure truth and fairness in its final findings on election-related violence. She held a press conference at Parliament yesterday. Take a listen.
At no time did I say no attack happened. I stated emphatically to the task force that on the election day, during my rounds, I noticed my convoy was being followed by a V8 vehicle, allegedly known to be used by Hawakumson and a Nadmo pickup, which had a green government number plate. After visiting some polling stations, I decided to go home because I felt my life was in danger. So I am convinced that at the conclusion of this investigation, the truer facts will emerge. On the issue of unwillingness of persons who witnessed these acts testify, This is entirely out of my control. There are videos to some of these attacks, and these are available for the committee to aid their work. Friends of the media, does the unwillingness to eyewitness and victims to testify mean these documented acts of violence didn't happen?
Well, that is the Member of Parliament for the Wusu Senya East constituency, Phyllis Nakoyo Okuno, speaking about what she is describing, or what she calls the truth in the Kaswa 2024 shooting incidents. You would recall that in 2024, during the just ended elections in the Wusu Senya East constituency, Phyllis Nakoyo Okuno reported incidents of violence allegedly orchestrated Member of Parliament for the constituency and Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, Mavis Hawa Kumsin. According to the Interior Minister, well, revelations and findings, investigations into this particular incident points away from the alleged orchestrator of this particular incident. That's Hawa Kumsin. But Phyllis Nakoyo Okuno is insisting that, well, that is her truth, and she's going to speak her truth to power. As always, we'll keep you updated on the progress of this conversation. The response, if there's going to be any, from the investigative task force that has been constituted, or that was constituted to investigate this incident, what the response from the minister would be, if there be, what the minority stance will be on this particular incident, given the fact that Hawa Kumsin was a member of the minority, and what the NPP would say if there is, what the NDC would also say with regards to Phyllis's statements, as well as the majority caucus in Parliament, what their response to these incidents would be, and if there be, the Speaker's response to violent incidences involving parliamentary elections and the election of members of Parliament into the chamber. As always, we'll keep you updated on the progress of these conversations and bring you updates subsequently. But finally, in the news this morning, the Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO, has arrested 25 suspects in connection with the human trafficking and recruitment scheme in the Ashanti region. Now, about 320 individuals were rounded up during the operation, with 295 identified as victims allegedly deceived under the guise of employment and travel opportunities by people posing as QNet representatives. Now, EOCO officials say the victims are being provided shelter and will be reintegrated with their families. Now, QNet has meanwhile condemned the fraudulent use of its name and pledged closer collaboration with security agencies to curb the activities. Now, the people you see seated in the grass on your screens currently are the 25 individuals who suspects who orchestrated this particular alleged QNet employment scam. And then you see other people totaling 295 identified as victims by the Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO. Now, this happened in the Ashanti region. So these 295 individuals were lured in the name of employment and are being used for various human trafficking activities, but EOCO has been able to round all these people up. We'll keep you updated on the investigative process that would ensue this particular investigation. But that's all for the morning news on the AM Club. My name is Augustine Adam Kobe to Saint. As always, there's more news when you visit mx24online.com or follow us on mx24gh and mx24 news on Instagram. It's the weekend. Remember, drink a lot of water, mind your business. Stay glued to mx24 because we have interesting conversations coming your alley, especially in voting voices. Mimi.
This really breaks my heart. Eh?
The whole QNet thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been happening for a while. I remember earlier this year, there was a whole conversation about how this QNet scam thing is. And how desperate would you be to be lured like that? I mean, that will never happen to me. I'm not saying that, but it will never happen to me. No matter how desperate I am. Because me, I'm very particular about certain things. Meeting up with strangers, I'm very particular about it.
Oh, my brother. Never say never.
Really?
So there was a point in my life when I was a waitress and I sold They will not believe it.
Really?
No, they don't believe it. They will never believe it. They will never believe it.
Interesting.
I sold charcoal and at this point of my life, I just wanted to go to school.
Right. Oh, okay.
I just wanted to go to school. things were a little murky in my family. So, like, I couldn't go. But I just wanted to. So I was doing all these things so that I'll tell my mother that, like, I have money out to go. Right? At this point, my brother, any opportunity
you would have grabbed it.
to go back to school, I would have taken it.
Right, now I
And
get
you
it.
find yourself in that position. And I keep telling you guys that I don't condemn people. I don't judge. I don't at all judge or condemn people.
Right.
I only advise for the right things to do if you have the right opportunities. So, for instance, you and I are here. You're a young journalist. You're working with me. And when I tell you that of my 13 years in this thing, you don't do things like this, I would expect that you will look at it constructively and take what you need from it.
Yeah.
Because opinion will be in the and whatever opportunities there are for you to learn from, you should just take it. Some of these young girls, they're really just desperate to live.
Right.
They don't want more than hand to mouth. Some of them are just being stubborn. So there are two groups of people that you find in this. All these people deserve another chance.
Right.
They deserve to be protected. Sometimes I feel like Ghana is just not, like the world is just not safe. Can God just flash this version of the world and start all over again?
But that would mean that we may not exist.
It's okay.
Oh no.
Because I get sick. I get sick. Look at the girls over there. I can tell you that the age ranges are from 16 to like 20.
Only God knows what they've done.
I know. I love that your mind just quickly went where my mind was.
Only God knows what they've done. 295. Be safe, boys. Be safe.
Small boys.
Be safe. Anyways.
Well, thank you so much for coming through with those stories. We're about to get into the world of sports right after this.
Visit www.mx24online.com for news, exclusive behind-the-scenes videos, up-to-the-minute sports updates, and the latest broken pen stories now. Experience more of MX24 Online. Visit mx24online.com today. MX24. Fun, fearless, and factual.
Hello, people. Wagwan. Yeah. How are we? It's a Friday morning. Yeah. Today, yeah, we are going this way because, Charlie, it's raining out there, man. It's raining. Yeah. My name is Sedina Medmond, and guess what happened to me today? I heard Augustine say when he woke up, he saw drizzle. No. When I was done preparing to come to work, then the rain said, "Hi, I got drizzle for you." And then it got.
You got what?
I got drizzle for you. Yeah, and everything went away. Oh, Charlie. Mimi, how are you?
I wish I could say otherwise, but I'm great. Oh, goodness gracious. Hey.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Why are you doing this to me?
They would never understand.
Oh, no.
Never understand.
No.
That's why I want to be in power.
Yeah.
At this material moment.
I also understand where Augustine wants to be. He never wanted to be here. Yeah.
I wanna go.
Don't worry. Investigating my sleep, though. I had a weird sort of sleep, so I'm investigating it. Yeah.
Investigating.
Yeah. I slept for more than 2 hours, and I'm investigating why I slept for more than
More than 2 hours?
Yeah. I don't want... It makes me feel off.
So how many hours do you usually sleep?
2 or below.
Let me tell you something, right?
Yeah.
I started working here in 2023, 2023, because it's my second year, right?
Yeah.
2023. Or early 2025, I'm not sure. I'm almost 2 years, so yeah. And when I started working, I was excited. It was a change of routine. I woke up one morning and I was on life support.
Oh, wow.
I had a health scare that I never thought in my young life I would, find myself there.
Wow.
From that very time, from that very moment. And I remember some of my colleagues here would remember that incident. I don't play.
I do remember it as well.
Yes.
I do remember it.
It's not a joke.
Yeah.
To see that this one, you see the people that are running around, you can tell people are running around, but there's nothing they can do.
Yeah.
They're just hoping that it doesn't exceed what is happening right now.
Yeah.
Lack of sleep. Lack of sleep. Let me just put it there. Lack of sleep. And good food. So better structure food. No breakfast, no lunch. Eat probably something small in the day and just keep